Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Twistie Test Championship. New Zealand and Sri Lanka taking a bit of a battle today. Apologies to all the New Zealand fans. I have Jeet Raval in at the top of the order instead of Tommy Blundell, who I believe is sort of the new opener there at the moment. So apologies from that lineup point of view. This match will be taking place in New Zealand, by the way, and they have won the toss. Pretty overcast conditions, a soft grassy wicket. And Kane Williamson has elected to bat. So the Kiwis will be batting first as we head into the first day of play here in New Zealand. Their first game of the tournament as well. It's going to be Lahuru Kumara to bowl to Jeet Raval. Edged! Oh, jeez, it doesn't carry. Gee, that would have been the perfect start for Sri Lanka, grabbing the outside edge early, and there's a good bit of fielding to stop runs. And now we see a couple of runs away from Tommy Latham. They've gone pretty slow, which is a bit of a mix-up there between the running between wickets, but they get home for 2 in the end. And a very slow start on this wicket. We could see it was going to be a difficult wicket to bat on. It was a slow, grassy wicket. And New Zealand, as you can tell, going at just over 2 runs and over from the opening 6 overs. So they're being a bit patient at the moment. Now they've started this game. Obviously the new ball a bit harder, a bit easier to hit. We saw similar sort of conditions, I guess, in India taking on England, where it was obviously easier to score off the newer ball than it was later on in the innings. As we see another outside edge from Jeet Raval that again doesn't carry. So I wonder if those slips are just going to move up a fraction to maybe be able to hold on to some of these chances. Oh, that's a quality drive from Tom Latham. That'll be the second boundary from the over. 32 without loss after 10. So a good opening start for the Kiwis. And this is exactly the type of confidence they'd want to take into the beginning of this matchup here. Beginning of this tournament. Of course, it is their first game in the tournament. They're probably expected to make it through to the semi-finals as one of the top 2 teams of this group. Obviously, a lot of people commenting that Group B is I guess the lower skilled team of the 2 groups, but New Zealand, of course, would be seen as the standout side in there. As we see the 50-run opening stand brought up after just 15 overs. So a really promising start here from the 2 openers, Raval and Latham. And Tommy Latham goes down the ground over mid-off for another boundary. How good's that shot? As we see the spinner Embledenia into the attack and straight away gets the wicket. Jeet Raval chopping on. And the spin-up provides the breakthrough for the Sri Lankans. New Zealand lose their first. 61 for 1. That would bring Kane Williamson to the crease. Tommy Latham again. Oh, he's chopped it on. So 2 wickets in the first over of the spin-up. Including that one that might have gone straight through the middle of the bat, I reckon. A little bit unlucky there, Tommy Latham. Anyway, it's the end of him for 29. Both openers gone through the first over of the spin. New Zealand 63 for 2. Yeah, the experienced batting pair of Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor find their way out to the middle. They'll have to survive a little bit of spin here, obviously. De Silva and Embledenia will be really looking to push for a couple more wickets before lunch on day 1 here. Obviously a red ball test this one. We have seen a couple of day-night matches. England's played in 2 of them so far this tournament. 1 win, 1 loss. 1 draw, 1 loss for them so far. Obviously India picking up that victory in that match. As we see Williamson come back for 2. It's been a direct hit. So it's close, but umpire seems to think it's out. And upon replay, it does look very out. So Kane Williamson out for 9. Vishwara Fernando with the throw. New Zealand lose their third wicket in the opening session. All of a sudden, they've slightly turned this around a bit, the Sri Lankans. Managed to get this out to a 3-wicket session. Really quite an even session, you'd probably say, Sri Lanka, after getting Kane Williamson and the 2 openers slightly in front. 85 for 3. Lasith Embaldenia with 2 wickets in that opening spell. Oh, that's onto the pad. Yep. Henry Nicholls out. The first over after lunch. And Embaldenia has his third. Henry Nicholls a bit of bad onto the pad. Balloons. New Zealand 87 for 4. After a 60-run opening stand, and BJ Watling's first ball is dropped. Gee, what a catch that would have been. Yep. So the Kiwis under an extraordinary amount of pressure. As we said, after a 60-run opening stand, they've lost, this is 4 for 38, I guess, if you count the runs up until this point. As we see the 100 come up for New Zealand, Ross Taylor moves to 20. Oh, and he struck on the pad. Gee, it looked close, didn't it? Only question there might have been height. Let's have a look. Pitching in line. Impact, umpire's call, wickets, umpire's call. Height wasn't actually an issue in the end. So a bit of luck there for Ross Taylor. Umpire's call would have seen him remained out had that initial decision been given out. He's able to find the boundary now. And again, over the top of cover. Bit of force in that shot. Oh, on the pad again. Much closer this time. Again, the umpire says not out. I wonder if we'll see yet another review here from the Sri Lankans. Already sent one of Ross Taylor's upstairs. This time, pitching in line. Impact in line. And the wickets umpire's call again. So again, Ross Taylor, that's his second life. Had he been given out again, would have remained out. Instead, he finds a way to hit the boundary. This time, closer. This time, given. And this time, Ross Taylor will depart. He's out for 34. Fernando gets his first wicket. The Kiwis 5 for 127. Colin de Grandhomme in with BJ Watling out there in the middle. Been pretty slow going from the Kiwis throughout the entirety of this innings. Run rate of 2.73. Obviously, we've seen some higher scoring run rates throughout some of these other matches. But we're now starting to see a little bit more difficult wickets for some sides to bat on. Some real low and slow wickets where spin is a key factor.
Wait there. Yep.
Oh, that's close. Oh, it's out! I reckon. Is it? Yes, it is. So a tight single. A little bit slow off the mark. Fielder able to pick it up, steady and throw with the left, and the direct hit was enough. And that will be the end of BJ Watling. Fernando gets the wicket. New Zealand 6 down for 151. Mitch Santner with Colin de Grandhomme in at the middle. But the Sri Lankans have just kept the pressure on with the ball and in the field. And it has created a few of these opportunities. And in the end, the Kiwis, what are they? 6 for 163. Oh, another one! What a catch! So Sri Lanka gets their 7th wicket. Just 3 or 4 balls before tea. It's de Grandhomme out sweeping, caught by the leg slip. And they are 7 wickets down for 165 as we head into tea. Neil Wagner in at the middle. Ross Taylor, the highest score with the bat so far, just 34 runs. Embaldenia's got 4. Fernando has 1. There's been a couple of run-outs as well. But the Kiwis, under an immense amount of pressure to survive throughout the remainder here of day 1. As they are 6 down for 7 down, sorry, for 169 at the moment. That one swept away nicely by Santner. You know, he can bat quite well in the one-day game. Picks up 2 more and a third. Edged. Taken. And given not out. What is going on here? Geez, I'm pretty confident that that's been nicked to first slip. Not sure what else it could have come off. They do send the review upstairs, the Sri Lankans. That umpire needs a pair of glasses. In the end, the wicket's given. Mitchell Santner out for 10. Could have just walked, mate. You've just smashed that ball. Anyway, New Zealand 8 down. Tim Southee and Neil Wagner now with an opportunity. And Tim Southee now with an edge, and he departs for 9. So again, just a few singles and able to survive for a couple of overs. But in the end, the wickets continue to fall for the Kiwis. They lose wicket number 9, I think. Yes, it is. 189, and they're 9 down. Oh, struck on the pad, Bolt. Given. So he didn't stick around long either. Just the 1 run able to be added through that partnership. Pitching in line. Impact in line. Wickets hitting. So even with the review, Trent Bolt will remain out. New Zealand will be bowled out for 190 on day 1 here in Wellington. Geez, a pretty sorry batting scorecard to look at there. Ross Taylor's 34. Obviously the key. Embledenia got 4 wickets for the Sri Lankans, but they all contributed. It was a really even performance across the board and really promising start from them. Oh, leading edge. Geez, and that's going to go to the boundary, I reckon. Karunaratne gets a 4. Oh, they want a single. It's tight. Bowler's end is close. It's a direct hit. And it's given. So very similar run out through a single we saw in the New Zealand innings. This time Mitchell Santner's left arm delivers the goods for the Kiwis. Oshada Fernando out for 2. Sri Lanka lose their first. Just 7 runs. It's obviously chasing 190 here in the first innings. If they can survive the night just 1 down, they'd feel reasonably confident that they'll be able to survive at least probably the first session tomorrow. Really be able to put a dent into this total. Edged. Oh, it's gone just wide of second slip, I think. And into the gap. There's no third slip. There's a 4th slip. But no one able to take it. Anyway, Mitchell Santner, his first over is the final over of the day. And the final ball will be a dot. So Sri Lanka 45 for 1 at stumps on day 1. Really a quite even day of Test cricket. But you just have to say Sri Lanka slightly ahead at 45 for 1. Kusal Mendes and Dimith Karunaratne 21 not out apiece as we head into stumps on day 1.